Restream thinks we're starting. What about Twitch? Can I hide these? 1 second, my audio sources. I want to active sources only. Okay. But here it's showing them unhide all. Hide. Hide, here we go. Sorry, I was using my OBS for recording. Twitch isn't showing anything yet. Let me reload it. Okay. And YouTube as well. All right. Welcome to Code Hangout number 237. Today's going to be a very short one because I'm super duper late. Today we're going to do something slightly different. Today we're going to work on Thinky Dailies. Thinky Games is a site that talks a lot about puzzles, mostly video games, but all sorts of kind of puzzle games that make you think, right? And I think Sudoku very much falls into that category. And I've recently started helping them out with the new product Thinky Dailies, where, well, product is the wrong word because it's a non-profit. But this is basically pen-pal-backed curated daily puzzles with nice characters and a bit of a story. And I'm basically, hey Keith, I'm as well as can be expected. And basically, I'm helping them out with some post-launch features and bug fixing and things like that. Interestingly, and very predictably, they have a lot of the same issues I have faced with Sudoku over the years. So hopefully my experience there is going to be helpful. And today, I'm specifically looking at a little issue with this rules dialog on the left side, where currently we see a scroll bar, but on some systems the scrolling doesn't show, unless that's something they've already worked on. Let me just double check that. I don't think so. All right. And because you know it's paid work and so on, so I can't just have the code open. I'm actually just going to use Stylus to inject a style sheet and work a little bit here in the browser on the live site. So let's see, can we get this into some sort of maybe something like, so this is one of the puzzles that's a little bit of an odd aspect ratio, and I was kind of working on it for another dialogue. So here I'm seeing the scroll bar. I thought we had an issue where that wasn't showing correctly. I might have to actually run my Android test device here. Let me double check. So if I go to Thinky Dailies, and I should have prepared this before the stream, but I'm already starting late. This is puzzle 18. Can I jump to 18 with this account? I believe so. All right, and if I say restart and rules, okay, so I was under the impression that scroll bar wasn't showing on a phone. So maybe we've already fixed that. The other thing they were thinking about is having a little pop-up showing, because one of the issues is that the hints are under the instructions and people might not realize that hints are available. And personally, I was thinking of a couple of different things. For one thing, we could have a little arrow at the bottom to indicate that scrolling is available, because if the size of the phone is such that it perfectly kind of encapsulates something like that, people might not realize there's more. And the other thing I was thinking of having a little bit of almost like a little menu at the top, kind of saying, hey, rules and hints as separate sections. I'm wondering if we could do like a little, like have the hints title just stick to the bottom. I wonder if that's something we can do with just CSS, or if we need HTML for, if we need JavaScript for that. CSS scroll showing headings at edge. I mean, I know we can do a sticky header The question is, can we do multiple sticky sub-captions? CSS scroll, sticky section titles. Can we make multiple section titles? The sticky element must be the center of a container that is taller than the element itself and within a scroll usually body. Each title will stick within its own section until the next section's title is pushed it up and off the screen. Huh. Is that something we can actually do? It's only interesting if it's super simple. Because if it's not, then I might as well build something exactly what I want. Ah. This is not too far off. Except I wanted the opposite. I wanted to be stick to the bottom. So if this is bottom 0 instead, can we? Yeah, the problem is here the top one will always cover the others, so we almost want the opposite of this. Position fixed. Yeah, I don't... Position sticky, bottom 0. Works with 100%. Let's have a look at position sticky. MDN position sticky. Let's see what that is all about. Because I'm aware of it for like a singular page, but for sub-elements... position sticky. The element is positioned according to the normal flow of the document and then offset relative to the nearest scrolling ancestor and containing block, including table element based on the values of top, right, bottom, left. The offset does not affect the position of any other elements. This is the sort of thing where I'm almost tempted to ask AI. Because with an AI like Gemini, I could actually explain what I want. Can I just do a new one? I would like to find very simple CSS that accomplishes the following. In a small scrolling dialog with several sections with a title each. I want all titles to be visible at all times. Or, for example, when not scrolled at all, the first section title is at the top of the dialog with the rest of the titles stacked at the bottom. As the dialog is scrolled and the position reaches specific section, that title should scroll as expected with previous titles stacked at the top edge. Let's see what it says, because what we saw there is very close to it. The question is, can the titles be stacked relative to each other? Simplest way to achieve the position sticky with both top and bottom balls to the header element. Position sticky, top 0, bottom 0. So if I do both top 0 and bottom 0 in this little demonstration here, 6, 7, 8, Let's get rid of these. Just have the numbered headers. And let's get rid of this. Actually, let's get rid of the page header altogether. All right. And let's get rid of the padding here. So now 3, 4. The problem is the bottom header, it shows the last header. Keep titles above scrolling content. So if we do z index 1, right, and now, yeah. Okay, so the dual overflow author, yada, yada, yada. This seems to have the titles in the normal Z order, which is not desirable, as the last title will always cover the rest, while instead I want whichever title is next to be shown at the bottom. Let's see if it can solve that. It's possibly that this isn't solvable with CSS only. So it wants us to reverse the stacking order manually. Now we could do this. I don't like it, but we can do it. Well, H1. 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 Now that's only for a couple of them. Actually, nth child. Main. Is that what we're looking at here? Let me just compare to section title. No, the section titles I think are the equivalent of H1 here. Oh my god, that autocomplete doesn't let me cursor away from the line. That's really terrible. I guess it'll only work for the first 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so if we continue this quickly here, let me just have a quick editor open here. So if we do this, 3, 4, 5, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Now, we won't need to do this in our actual page because I think we'll only have like 2 or 3 titles at most. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It works for 4, but not for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe just because 8 wasn't included. Whoa. That's weird. 8, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. That's so weird. Now the problem here is now it'll show. Now we have the opposite problem with the title stacking on top. Perhaps we need some help from JavaScript. Let's see if Gemini can figure this out. I mean, Gemini is not a coding model. The bottom you need to see, and at the top you need ascending order. So is that just to solve this, use a smaller intersection observer to toggle a class when the header hits the top edge. Okay. So the script monitors each title when the title's position reaches the very top of the container. It adds this is a top class. All right. So I think we can run JavaScript here. So the container is just main, and the section, the query selector, all of these are the H1s. Right, and then I'm guessing we have an is at top. Like that. For now, I'm just gonna say is at top, background red. Just so we can see if it works, okay? One is at the top. Yeah, so maybe. I think we need to do this because of the selector precedence. 2, 3, no. 1, 2. Only one is red. One second. Do we not have a console here? Do I have to get my own console here? Bring your own console, I suppose. Come on. So, if I... No. Where'd the page header come from? There's no page header. Where is this page header coming from? Okay. That was weird. Alright, so. Is at top. The others don't seem to happen. Okay. So, we have an observer running here for each. .log observer entry. Query selector all H1 root container threshold triggers when 100% of the title is visible. I don't see that being correct. So intersection observer entry dot root bounds entry dot target. I just want to see which titles are being affected. Like, it just sets them all. Actually, no, it's not running again. Titles for each observer, observe, intersection observer. If I clear this and now scroll, it's not doing this. Okay, now this could be some circumstance of this environment in here, but the observer doesn't seem to be running. The observer doesn't execute, or executes executes only once on page load and not again. I'm pretty sure that observer is supposed to execute every time scrolling happens. There are only 5 ounces typically caused by the target element remaining partially intersecting the root container at all times because it is constantly stuck between top and bottom edges. You must adjust the top position slightly. But intersection observer entries for each. So.log observe 1. If I run this, right? And I don't misspell console. So we have observe 1. But yeah, so that can't be it. Top position selecting use negative root margins to get a trigger zone at the very top edge. Top -1. Wait. Top -1. Okay. I mean, that's whack. That's pretty stupid. Like this, but this is still not, yeah. If I do -10. Nope. Anything else I'm doing differently? Even with larger negative margin, the observer only ever executes 1 time. Ah, wait, root margin. Is that something? Ah, root margin. Okay, let's run that. Nope. Let's have a look at what MDN knows about intersection observer. Storage directive visibility of an element or the relative visibility of 2 elements in relation to each other has been a difficult task for which solutions have been unreliable and prone to causing the browser and the size of the user's JS and become sluggish. As the web has matured, yeah, okay. Section detection, the past involved event handlers, loops, calling methods, yada yada yada. Section observer configure a callback that is called when either of these sequences occur. Target element intersects either the device's viewport or a specified element. That's what it's called, the root element, or the root for the purpose of the section observer API. Down the initial asked to what target element. Okay, so let's make it clear. Main is background green, and then H1 is background ground yellow. Run. Okay, so the problem is main is the thing that's being scrolled. Scroll container. I'm guessing the scroll container is actually not that. Main. Which one do we have? The overflow. All right. So if I say diff like here, then we'll say class equals container. Then we can say container. We'll make the background blue. Hey guys, hey Toops. Hey Poochie. I started super late, so I'm gonna make it a short one. Overflow y auto. Right, 100%. Run. Body margin. Oops. Body margin 0. Or is that padding? Nope. Now what is being scrolled here? Position sticky. I think it's because main is getting scrolled. So let's get rid of main for a sec. I don't think we need main at all. Right? Okay, so the JavaScript is getting executed now. Which is very strange, actually. Wait a second. I broke the... that's weird. Auto. Background. We've basically broken our stickiness here. What the heck? Overflow hidden. If I make margin 0.5 rem here. Overflow height 100%. Overflow Y scroll. Now, we don't have the right height for anything here. Also, I'm realizing I'm working all in this tiny corner of the screen, so maybe we can make this a bit bigger. So we have the container. We have the body. How big is the body? Tell me. Tell me. It is 796 high, which seems way too high. So if we make that 100%, so it doesn't just stretch. 193. Okay. So now the container is 193. Body is 193. Container is that. And then all of this stuff is there. But it's clear that, you see, they're supposed to be padding around it. So it's clear that the container is actually higher than the body. So body 200, container. Yeah, container is... Why is container at 100% bigger than its parent? That doesn't seem right. What if we make this a fixed height? I just want to test the principle here, right? So if we make this 200 pixels, and we'll make this 190 pixels. Right, now we have a scroll bar. Okay, now we get that. Do we get this executing? It seems we are. No, we're not. We're still not getting anything executing here. Dot container, create electron H1. It's still not working. To shrink the active area of the observer to just the top pixels of the container. Shrink the check area to the top edge only. Minus 100%. This doesn't work. The sentinel trick. Okay, what's going on here? Here, intersection only fires once so that the sticky element with top bottom remains partially intersecting the container at all times. This never fully leaves the container's balance. The observer doesn't see a change in state to trigger the callback again. To solve this, use invisible sentinel elements at the top of each section. These sentinels are not sticky. They scroll naturally and trigger the observer as they cross the top edge, allowing you to reliably toggle the z-index. Alright, this seems to be bollocks, because the whole point of this was to have it intersect. So right now we have the issue that this observer thing is just not doing it. Bottom. If I do minus 10 on the bottom, is that downwards? Yeah, okay. All right, so this doesn't work. Let's see what the root margin is all about. Root margin. Target element intersects either the device's tree or specified. I'm guessing it's always intersecting because it's never leaving it, so it doesn't fire again. Are there margins around the root? A string of 1 of 4 values similar to CSS margin property. Top the values can only be in pixels or percentages. Set the values serves to grow or shrink each side of the root's elements bounding box. I mean, we could literally have a top detector and a bottom detector. Well, actually, no, because we only care about it when it's in the upper half. Margin, a string of 1 of 4 values. Right, left, right, can a margin around the root. This sets the values. Set of values serves to grow or shrink each side of the root element's bounding box before computing intersections. Negative values will shrink the bounding box of the root element and positive values will expand it. So I'm guessing that's what the minus 100% here for the bottom margin was supposed to be. So because we don't actually care about the bottom, right? Yeah. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that works. We don't have this working though right now. So we don't have the z-index for the bottom edge working correctly. Let's see if we can get that figured out. So the z-index for these should be correct. Z-index 1. Why isn't nth child here? Why isn't that working? If I do this, right, and run it, and then we'll look at, so we want to be in the middle, right? So we want to say C5, this should be 4 and this should be 6. So the 6 here, subsection header 5. Yeah, we don't have class here. Why is here? It is not seeing the H. Why is it not seeing this? If I rerun it, like it works the first time round, right? So here we currently have H nth child. It's as if the empty class. It's as if the empty class somehow gets rid of the nth child for some reason, which doesn't make any freaking sense. Wait, what? And it breaks for... Why does it break at 4? 3, 4, and then it goes to 8. 6, child 5, child 7. Oh, because it counts the paragraphs. Nth child. CSS nth child. Child counting other types of elements. This, yeah, actually, this is something Gemini might help me. I have a problem that the nth child selectors also count the other elements between the titles. Can we only count the headings? It's not really thinking, is it? Yeah, by adding off section close the browser filters list only nth child 1 off. So it'll be 1 off H1 basically. Seven, 6, 5. Everything all right? Well, everybody, you heard it here first. All right, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's see if we can apply it. So, now one of the issues is we don't have a hint at the top. We don't have a hint at the top. Sorry, we don't have a title at the top. So hints is an H2 in here. Okay, so let's look at our stylus code. So I currently have this one. Can I should be able to add another one, right? So I want to make a new tab, open stylus, write a new style. Right, and I want to have it limited to, what is that? Example, so if I do this, whoops, body, background, red. If I do this, I don't know what it should be. Ah, that's the name of the thing, okay. Rules scroll. Okay, so we actually want to copy this. Here, this is dialog edits, whatever. This is just for local development. No, we want to include this, right? So I do this, and then I go here. It should be live immediately, right? So if I go to body, background, color, red, code 1, everything. Or if I do this, and I just say URL starting with, here we go, background color red. It doesn't show up, but that's fine. Color green. Does that work? Yeah. So you see all the text is green. So we know it's active. Sweet. All right. So that's step 1. I think I get more out of this layout. So step 2 is identify our dialog, which will be, you know, because it's Next.js stuff, so it'll have weird whatever's in here. But I'm guessing this is the box that's overflow y scroll here. So we kind of want to copy this. Or can we just get the one here? Like if I do this, we'll do background red. Like if we do something like that. Okay, so we got our scroll here, and then inside the scroll, if we go to hints, I'm guessing that's the H2. Okay, so now we want to bring our little stuff over. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do H2, one of H2, like that, right? We'll just do a couple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 8, 7, 6. All right. And then we got to do this. Like that. Right. We can get rid of the red now. And we can get rid of the green. Oops. Like that. Now, I can scroll. Okay, so the hints stick there. Cool. Cool. Now, if I manually add something here. No, if I do this. Insert, can I just insert to edit as HTML? And I just say, I copy the H2 down here. Maybe that's a smarter thing to do. This is terrible for me, and I appreciate it's for you probably pretty terrible too. Let's find the H2. Hints. So we have hints there. So it's just a bare H2. So if we do something like this and call it rules, whoops, like that. So we have rules and we have hints. Now as I scroll down, why can't I, yeah. So scroll down, the rules stick. As I scroll up, the hints stick. Now, we don't want to have them at -10, -10. Except, I think they have some sort of margin thing around them. Box content. If the top is whatever the margin here is, padding 1 rem, is if it's -1 rem, and then bottom 1 rem minus -2, yeah. Don't know why it's 2 at the bottom. Cool. And the other thing we could do in this case, all right, let's get rid of the colors for a second. Now that's a little bit of an issue. What is the background color here? It's some sort of gray, isn't it? Can I get one of... I wonder if they ever fixed the bug with the color picker here. I can't tell from here. Conversion generic will cause color shifts. Yeah, that's fine. I want... Can I get it as... Wait, is that... Can I just grab it from wherever this is from? I don't know what this background color is. It's not quite white. Is this because it's like the whole box, right? Where the color could be in this background color. Can I just copy that? Okay, so if we say something like background color, nope. If I do this, and now, yeah, but you see, that is not the color. This is not this gray. Where is the gray coming from? Yeah, that's not the actual color. Where's gray coming from? Yeah, that's something... That's, I think, kind of the root of all my problems with CSS is things like that, right? Like, you have a style applied to this, but you don't know where it's coming from. Like, I cannot pick on the background and say, okay, what's generating this? Like, I can get the computed style, but the computed style might just be nothing, or it might be white or whatever, right? I don't think... Like, it'll show, you see, like, the computed style for something might just be transparent, which won't be the background because you'll see the color behind the transparent, right? I guess the only way to really find out quickly is by deleting items. Ugh. This is gonna mess me up. I'm pretty sure that'll mess me up. Okay, let me just color pick it. Maybe it's this one. I think that might be it. Let's try it. Ah, here we go. Because now I can scroll again. Why can't I scroll? Yeah, now the rules will stick there. Not necessarily what we want just yet. Oh, that's weird. Okay. It's doing the touch scroll thing. So we're in the rules section. The hints are coming up from here. I mean, we'd have to indicate a little bit more what's going on here. But it would be one way of showing. I mean, the other thing would be to have like a little arrow toggle. But this basically would be one way of doing it. What is not good about it is that it reduces already the smaller space. I'm curious if there's a way of applying a style when it's position fixed. CSS, can I apply a style only when position fixed? Position sticky applies. Yeah, so basically, I mean, that's what we're kind of doing with the other bit of JavaScript. Yeah, that basically. I guess it'll probably say you need to have the... yeah, position sticky. It seems there's no real solution for sticky. It seems possible with pure CSS. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Can I run JavaScript with stylish? I guess I want Temper Monkey then. If I do this, can I do it for this? If I do this, and then we'll do, I don't remember. 1 second, I don't remember. Let me try it with this. Okay, we do need the match thing, but it's still a JavaScript comment. Okay, so here we want to match this, and we want to have that. And then we wanna, I'm guessing I need to reload the page from scratch to get the Temper Monkey script. Ooh. Can I? If I refresh this now. Okay, the test doesn't seem to kick in. User script, author you. Ah, it's not enabled. So if I do this now, new user script. I'm trying to remember it. I think we need something like this. I think. Sure. If I do this here. Why is this red now? If I do that and I refresh this, it's not executing. It is enabled. This is switched on. It's supposed to be running on this side. Maybe I'll just run it across all of... I don't know what I just pressed. All of Thingy Games. Or maybe like that. If I refresh it now, will it run? No. I'm pretty sure that's how I've done it for Sudokupad, right? Yeah. Maybe it needs run at. I do that. Temper monkey script not executing. Why is it not running? The script is supposed to run, and click on the temper monkey item next to the address bar. Temper on the telephone. Okay, no. Like, it tells me that script is active, but it's not running. Navigate the page at max session, yada yada. It says no script is running, the URL and the match string are the same. thinkygames.com, https thinkygames.com. We're on HTTPS for sure. Can I put this outside of use script? Is this maybe getting filtered? It could be that maybe I am filtering something. Oops. Maybe preserve. No. What am I doing wrong here? What am I doing wrong? Oh god, it's probably some bollocks with the match pattern, right? Let me double check. So what did I do here for pseudo-pad? I just said this, but I also said this, but we don't have any www dot. What am I doing wrong here, guys? Okay, I can do it without temper monkey script. So we have, this is our current working version, right? So I can just paste it in the console at runtime. So it's gonna be a little bit it's gonna be a bit annoying. So if I do this, I go here, and we'll have a little initialization script here. So we'll make this JavaScript. This is gonna be janky as all hell. But what I want to do is I wanna, and oh Jesus, spaces really. I always want to indent with no. Okay. We want to assign something, right? So we have this observer. Actually, probably what I want to do is I'll do a little script that actually sets up the rules so I can refresh the page and I don't have to deal with all this mess. So if I go back here and I'll say styles.boxContent, right? So I'll do document.query selector. Now, this will be a problem because that identifier will change. So what we really want to do is all diff dot filter. If I do this, filter x console dot log x, boom, dot dot dot, boom. Okay. So now I can say this is an element, el dot class name, dot match, and we want to match styles underscore box content underscore underscore whatever. Right. So if I do this, we'll get, wait, putting an arrow here. That should be it, right? Okay. So we'll say let box equals this, const box equals this, right? Box dot insert adjacent HTML, which now will be before after begin, right? So it'll be after begin, and it'll be h2 rules slash h2. Right. So if I do this, and I'll put it onto our clean version here, when the rules dialog is open, and I'll do this. Okay. So box, we didn't find box. No, there it is. Oh. So we have our box. If I do this now, there we go. Rules goes there. Sweet. Then we basically want to do this. Okay, so titles will be this. And that'll be just box. And then observer will be yada yada yada. Okay. And so if I just do this, and I do this, and I scroll. Now, since we only have 2 titles here, this isn't actually gonna help us too much. Okay, so that was, yeah, for 2 it doesn't make sense because, oh no, it does make sense because the hints will go over the top one, right? So so basically we want to go here and we want to say whatever we did with the is at top over here. So if we're gonna do this, I wonder if the selector for the title, if I can make that a variable, that would be interesting. So if I do this, and now we're here. Container is not defined. So if I refresh that, take that, run that in here after I open the rules dialog. Now we have rules. Container is not defined. Yes, because this is a box. Okay. So I think we can do that again. Close that. Open rules. Do this. And now so hints should go over top of rules. But it's not, which means we're not quite there yet. Ah, wait a second. Where's our observy thing? It's not kicking in. It's kicking in once it gets past that 100 pixel or whatever threshold that we set. Actually, we can probably do minus 50%. So once it goes past the halfway mark. And none of these have the is at top class assigned to them. Why is that? If I do this and I output that and I repaste that, refresh this, paste that in here, refresh that again, and this time do it when the rules dialog is actually open. Right, and now if I'm scrolling it down, false. Root if, yeah, because this is looking for it when it's on the top, and this kicks in when it's past the. Is that maybe the answer? Because that's what Gemini said earlier, and I ignored it. But maybe it works. I mean, I feel like the area would be have no size. Minus 50, minus 100%. I mean, I could potentially just say the total height minus the height of a title, I suppose. Yeah, it didn't kick. It kicked in once, and then it didn't kick in again. Is smaller or equal to root bounds top? I have a feeling this is just a question of rounding bollocks, and if I give it like a little safety margin, it'll work. So it's just fiddling, basically. I'm gonna have to end the stream soon. It's already 9 o'clock here. So, you see, here it was red, but now it's not because it's off by a little bit. So, since these are actual numbers, we can probably say if smaller than this plus 10. So we have like a 10 pixel margin of error. I can do this, and now that becomes red, and then hints becomes red. Now at the top, we want these be in order of... Oh, z index 10 is overriding that. Because of the specificity. I guess right now this identifier still works. So we kind of want to do this. So if I look at hints here, is at top ins child. I guess this needs to be important. No, but if this is important, then this will never override it. Does this need to be below? This needs to be needs to have higher specificity than this. I had this working here. Is it because of the class? H1 is at top. Here we didn't need it. For some reason. Oh, here it wasn't working. If I... The hints needs to go on top of rules. How do we make that happen? We have z index 9. So if I disable this, and if I go to rules and I disable this, then it is where it needs to be. I just... If I make this important, that should work. So if I do this now and just rerun that, nope. Refresh, close, rules, rerun, hints. Okay, I think I want to go back to the 50%. I wonder if we can use calc here. So if I say calc minus 100% plus 50px, and then here I say plus 50, that should perfectly match up, right? And that'll be the last thing we'll try. Rules. Nope, because it doesn't like calc. Pixels or percent. God darn it. If I specify this in positive 50 pixels, maybe that works. I don't see how that would be from the bottom. No, it would be from the bottom, wouldn't it? I need to reload because I did not wait till I opened the dialog. Nope, wrong dialog. By the way, check out Think Games Dailies. Really good puzzles there. Ah. Huh? The question is, no, this is not working, is it? I guess in the moment, I don't actually need that because we have only the two. I'm over complicating it, I believe. So if I do this now, that's basically all we really need. And if I add the other one, i.e., if I skip this, but I mean, we have the option to make it more complicated if we wanted to. We'll do this. All right, we do want to have the titles be above the rest of the stuff, though. So it's like this. Boom. 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 Yeah, and then we could add a symbol there, like a little icon. I mean, ideally, I would have them stack up. But I guess as a hint to the user, you know, and then if we make them, the last thing I'm going to try is if I make them clickable, and then we'll do a scroll to. So if I do something like this, href equals, or scroll to link in HTML. Scroll to link, we can just do a ID, right? ID equals rules. And then if I do this, href hash rules. Like if I do this, and maybe I can add the href to the h2. Yeah, I know it's a bit horrendous, but if I try this, right, and then we'll do this, and I tip to hints. Sorry, if I scroll down and I tip to rules. Okay, it doesn't like that. If I do this instead, and then we do the same thing for the other one. So if I scroll down and I click to rules, it doesn't scroll it into view because it's already there. Ah, that's annoying. We would basically, the way to do it is to have this here, Like if we did this, right? That might work. So we have an empty div as a scroll anchor that doesn't have the position fixed stuff. So if I scroll down and then I click on rules, it jumps us there. And we'll make it, we'll do this a text decoration none, color inherit, boom. So scroll and click jump. And then finally we also want to add this to box dot query selector all h2 dot map dot for each and then we'll we need to basically do a bunch of things here. Dot inner HTML. No, we need to replace it. Okay, I'm not gonna do this right now, but basically we need to replace it with this. And then clicking it will just jump to that, and clicking hints will jump to hints. If I want to do it in can I change the whole thing? If I say body dot outer HTML document dot body dot out HTML equals HTML, is that gonna just work? Okay, so maybe it'll work if I say box dot query selector all h2 dot for each el how do I spell that? Each el dot outer h, is it all capital HTML equals this. Right, so if I do this, refresh that, close that, open that, run that. Okay. And if I do match rules or hints. Okay, that's like super jank, but fast. Wait. I'm just trying to think, like, what do I get out of the match? I'll get an array, our match element. So the first thing, okay. So this, let title equals, and then if I do this, I can just inject the title here. Title, and we can probably just use the title for this and for this. Like that. Right. Oops. Okay, if that works, I'm gonna call it. So, we've got rules, we've got hints. It does not work. Hints, h2, title. How did that happen? I don't know. But we have the idea hints here. So, after this tiny fix, we have high hopes that if I click on hints, if I click on rules, hints, rules, I think we need to also put these on the same footing. Like that. We need to take this, put it there. Yeah, maybe that other H2 screwed us. Nope. Come on. We gotta be close now. God. One more dollar sign. All right. Come on. One more dollar sign. As if it's PHP. And scroll, click, scroll, click, scroll, click. Yes. Okay. I like this actually. We might want to visually do something like fade it underneath, just like the bottom of the thing is. But that might be a good way of showing, hey, there's more stuff happening. That's it. Super late. Sorry for the late start. Check out thinkydailies.com. No, thinkygames.com/dailies. Puzzle every day. Very nice ones. And I'm hopefully bringing lots of new features to it over the next coming weeks. That's it for today. Thanks for hanging out, Keith. Appreciate it. Take care.